What's going on, guys? Lee Setzer here with J Concepts, and I wanted to talk to you guys about an upcoming event we have, the Southern Indoor Championships in Alabama, January 10th through the 12th. And specifically, I wanted to talk to you guys about the tread patterns and the compounds from J Concepts you're going to want to have on hand. That's going to get you through the entire weekend. So we'll get started here with the Reflex, and most of you already know, but the Reflex is the go-to tire for any track, kind of anywhere, right? So years past at SIC, it's kind of always been a cold race. This year's looking no different. It's usually in the 40s, high 30s, and the track never really kind of grooves in that quickly. It can never really kind of dry out and kind of get a groove super fast. So the Reflex tire is always the tire that you will see pretty much all the team guys start out with for both buggy and truck, and it just works. It just kind of, you can bolt it on your car. You can kind of go out there and have a peace of mind, like knowing that really no matter what track condition, that this tire is just going to work. But you know, when we go out there and we first get our first runs in, the Reflex has always been the go-to. It just kind of excels when the tracks, you know, when you get those first few practice sessions in, and the track's, you know, kind of breaking in, kind of the surface is kind of settling in. The Reflex just bites through the dust that sits on top as the track is coming in. It just works well through that. And like I said, for both buggy and truggy, and the compound that we always start out with at this race is the Super Soft. And with it being a cold race, we never actually really go above a Super Soft. So we never kind of go to a soft. It's been tried. Last year, you know, we tried the soft compound, but it just didn't have like just the grip and kind of the feeling that we were looking for as the greens did. So we'll kind of move on from the Reflex just for a minute, and we'll kind of like go into the qualifying stage, right? So by this time at this event, usually the track is a little bit more put together. The surface is burned in. It's got a cleaner groove. You know, everyone obviously has a feel for the layout, and now you're, you know, kind of getting into the race zone, right? So the relapse, this is where this comes into play. So you'll actually, before qualifying, you'll kind of see a lot of the team guys try the J Concepts relapse, and you know, you'll kind of see like usually what I do is I usually glue them up in truck first, and I'll kind of go out in truck, and I'll kind of gauge whether or not I want to continue kind of exploring the relapse option. So in truck, I'll like I said, I'll glue them up, I'll go out and run. And truck kind of gives us a good kind of baseline to kind of read off of if it's going to work for buggy. Obviously, with truck, you have more contact patch. And so if it works really well in truck, if the lap times are looking good, if the consistency is there, and just the general feeling of the tire on the car feels nice, then we can kind of gauge and know that, okay, the relapse, you know, we're going to try the relapse in buggy. So, like I said, you'll see a lot of the team guys kind of get this tire glued up towards the end of practice, just to have them ready, maybe break them in, see what they feel like. But then when we go into qualifying day on Saturday, obviously it depends on kind of the schedule that the track crew does. So, you know, if they've watered the track, you know, that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in the fire. You know, we kind of have to see, is the track going to burn in quicker than obviously it did when the track was freshly built and no cars have been on it. But if the track is looking good and it's not too dusty, and the track is still put together, like it's kind of got the nice groove, none of the jumps are kind of like cupped out, there's no braking bumps, and it looks good, it looks ready for these, you'll kind of see some guys kind of start out with these on Q1. And last year we actually ran relapses throughout the entire qualifying. So this tire for quite some time now has kind of been like the qualifying tire for sure at these race time races, and it just works super well. Like I said, when the track kind of has that, it's finally kind of got the groove burnt into it with minimal dust, and it just feels so much better in that groove section, where when the track gets to that stage, the Reflex tends to, you kind of have a little bit of pinfold with the Reflex, and it actually feels kind of squirmy, is the word I would use. when you're on kind of that hard surface as the track starts to come in. So the relapse tire, like I said, is an absolute must to have in your bag, I think, at this race. And the compound is pretty easy. So like super soft is all you're gonna need throughout the entire weekend. Generally, like years past, we've never, like I said earlier, we've never really gone above the super soft tire. So, and even if you feel like the super soft tire is a little too soft, what you could do is you could actually glue the foam. Is one thing that I like to do, especially in truck, just because truck is so big that I don't like the tire to expand a lot, and I don't want the foam to kind of shift. So I always glue the truck tire, especially in the super soft. But in buggy, I always just kind of start out with it just glued up normal. I don't have any of the O-ring bands in the foam. I don't have it cut. I don't have the foam cut. I don't have it glued. I just glue the tire straight up and kind of work my way from there. So if you do feel like the super soft compound maybe is getting a little too soft, before you jump to soft, I would definitely try maybe just gluing the foam or putting the J-Concepts O-ring bands in between the ribs of the foam just to prevent it from kind of swelling and expanding when you're on power. But other than that, that's all you're going to need. Reflex and relapse and super soft compound, that's going to get you through the entire weekend. It's actually, this race, it's quite easy with the tread patterns and compounds because it's just the reflex, relapse, one compound, and it just seems to work quite well there. So I appreciate you guys watching. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments below, and we'll see you guys at the event.